Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Let's talk Jeonse. Okay, so what is Jeonse? Let's talk about that first before we talk about the changes that have happened. Jeonse is a system of high deposit rental. Okay. Hi, Bubba. What you do is you usually put down 50% to 80% of the market value of an apartment. Okay, so it's a very, very high deposit. What this does to your monthly rent is decreases it dramatically. Okay, we're talking maybe $200-300 per month to rent an apartment because you put so much down. Sometimes you might not even have to pay rent. It just depends on the apartment and how much you put down and all of that jazz, okay? So Jeonse is very unique to Korea, and many Koreans prefer to do Jeonse loans because it allows them to save more money per month, and they can, maybe get a loan from the bank and just pay the interest rate because they'll eventually get that money back and they can pay it off or whatever. So it allows them to save a lot of money in the long run, which can potentially help with buying houses, which I've told you are extremely expensive here. Oh, yeah. So that's what Jeonse is. It's a large deposit on an apartment, okay? And it's very popular for many, many people. Most people do Jeonse loans. Now, recently, the government has been implementing changes to homeownership and Jeonse and tenant rights because they're trying to help with the lack of housing here in Korea and the prices of rent and housing. Okay, so they implemented this new Jeonse tenant law. It's supposed to help tenants from seeing a dramatic increase in their rent, right? So let's say you sign a 2-year contract. A lot of houses here are 2-year contracts. So you sign a 2-year contract and you want to stay in the apartment. Sometimes landlords would dramatically increase the Jeonse on tenants, and it would cause the tenants to have to move if they wanted to re-sign their contract. Or they would just tell them straight out, no, you can't re-sign, I'm going to get a new tenant. Okay. Well, the government passed a law where tenants now have more rights. They can stay for an extra 2 years, another 2-year contract, and the homeowner cannot increase the Jeonse loan more than 5% of what the original Jeonse was. Okay, so you can see here, this would help tenants, right? I can stay in my home for another 2 years. I'm not going to see a dramatic spike, like 25% increase in my Jeonse. It's going to help me, right? That's what you would think. Well, it actually had a completely opposite effect on Jeonse and homeowners, the landlords, okay? Great for tenants if you can find a Jeonse loan. I was reading an article the other day that said there are listed like not even 400 Jeonse loans in all of Seoul. I could be completely wrong. I could be fudging the number incorrectly, but a very limited number of Jeonse loans right now because landlords don't want to have to not increase their rent and have to only have a 5% increase. Roven, stop. Have a 5% increase after 2 years. They want to be able to increase it no matter how much because, money, But what ended up happening is a lot of landlords bumped up their Jeonse to like astronomical heights before the law took effect. They just completely took their Jeonse off the market, or they changed the Jeonse loans to Wolse loans. Wolse loans are a very lower deposit, but higher rent. okay? And so a lot of them made it Wolse instead of Jeonse, which means that there's a higher burden on how much you're putting out monthly. So it's a little bit harder for tenants to save, and it's not as secure as the Jeonse was, right? They just changed the law. You know, you can have a 2-year contract. It doesn't matter, kind of thing. Like, the landlord really can't kick you out for a Jeonse. We'll say they can, right? So this new law, while it's supposed to help Jeonse tenants, has actually had the opposite effect and has made Jeonse apartments near impossible to find or extremely expensive, right? So the renting here has gone to Wolse, and you're seeing a huge increase in rental prices, monthly rentals, and the prices are increasing to the point that people can't afford it, which is, again, what the government was trying to not have happen. They were trying to make it so people could afford to live and work in Seoul and in Gyeonggi-do, and like, they're trying to make it better for tenants, and they actually ended up hurting tenants. Another big thing, it's not a Jeonse law specifically, but it's a homeowner law. They increased the taxes on double homeownership and rental homeowners, okay? Which adversely impacted how much people are putting their houses on the market for. They're increasing it 25-50% from what it used to be. So a lot of people are saying that because of these new laws and because of the things that the government is implementing in regards to home ownership and rentals, we're actually going to get rid of the Jeonse system. Like, it's going to go away, and it's going to be predominantly just Wolse, which is crazy, right? It's insane. It's something that is distinctly Korean and something that many Koreans like and use, but it's probably going away because the government changed things, I guess. So there's that. As a foreigner, I don't recommend doing Jeonse unless you are married and like going to live here, because landlords be shady sometimes, and you might not get that money back, and it's a lot of money. But you might not even be able to do Jeonse in the future, because as at the rate that things are going right now, there aren't very many Jeonses on the market. So there you have it. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Say bye, Rovan. You don't even care. Bye, guys.